Hi, happy Wednesday. We have smoke, so I don't need sunglasses. And I am going to walk Kyrie, who has been languishing in her pen for a little while I do caregiving stuff. And I want to just keep talking about the concept I'm working on, which is care versus control, which is setting up situations that will allow myself and others to thrive and flourish, nice words, but which don't enforce anything. And so I don't know if I can get both of us in this frame, because it would be nice if you could walk with me and my dog. And maybe we'll just change the angle a little bit. There she is. So Kyrie's had the chance to meet lots and lots of my family this summer, and she's, a new to us dog. And the comment that I've heard in the background a lot is like, oh no, Lynn has yet another neurotic animal. So I hear you. I have another neurotic animal. And I think that's on purpose. I think it's a theme. And so I'm getting good. I'm getting good at this. And I think that I may as well lean in and share what I'm learning. And maybe if you have a neurotic animal, or if you have a neurotic inner team member, as I do, or if you have even a neurotic person in your life, we don't use that as a compliment. maybe this walk and talk will be for you. So I'm just gonna back her up because she's leading a little bit. There we go. Good girl, Kyrie. Yeah, Kyrie is a lot happier than she was, and an awful lot more, I would say, herself. She's offering, and what she's offering is to look deep in my eyes, to wag her tail and generally be relaxed around me, to explore with more courage and more confidence. Doesn't look like confidence, but relatively speaking, it's a lot of confidence. And also, she's starting to be able to obey commands that put her into a stationary position for a few seconds. And that's a huge deal given how invested she is in pacing when she is uncertain. So, here we are. She's ahead again. I'm going to just back her up. And you can see that look in her eyes. Hi, Kyrie. And I'm going to let you go. Sit. Good girl. Free. And Kyrie is she's a slow processor. That's what I've noticed about her. It's not actually neurosis, which, I mean, that's a lot to unpack. She's a slow processor. She needs a few seconds. She doesn't like things to happen quickly. And she really likes the chance to just tootle around and, explore. She is not a super high energy dog. That's her happy place. So I'm just going to keep walking and follow her lead a little bit, and just keep talking about this fairly difficult topic. So when somebody that you are caring for is worried, which is what we really mean by neurosis or neurotic, is like they worry a lot and they easily escalate, and they are often in the state of near panic for no particular reason. It's exhausting. It's just really hard to look after that because it's so aggravating, and the temptation is to escalate yourself into anger and try to pull them out of what is just such a non-functional way of being in the world. That's a pretty green puddle. And so I do that a lot because I, having done a bit of work on myself, have realized that my heart, my inner team member, has been worried a lot. And my response to her worries has been to shut her up and try to toughen her up with a lot of trash talking, actually. And so when I look at Kyrie, I see my own heart, for sure. My heart is slow to process. My heart needs time. My heart wants to explore the world, but at her own pace and safely, and without a lot of judgment. And my mind, which is very quick, very, very quick, is just very impatient with that. So when I watch Kyrie and notice how soft she is and how slow, kind of the wheels turn, and it's easy for me to ramp up and get impatient and think, move it along, come on. And or to interpret that pause, that deliberate kind of pause, as disobedience or defiance or pretending to be stupid, because she's not actually stupid. She's pretty smart for parts of the day, but she's easily overwhelmed. She's easily tired. She is very much wanting to focus on the information that's interesting to her, and is not a sensory seeker. She's a sensory processor. She wants to just deal with things one at a time. She's kind of more sedate than other dogs that I've had. So caring for her is an interesting exercise in watching how I talk to myself and how I care for myself. Oh, she's just right on my heel here. I'm trying to get her in the frame, but she's completely off leash, but she's just really, really happy to be together. And this is a happy dog. And I deliberately didn't bring Joy, who is a very different energy level. And she really enjoys these walks with just me. So what I've learned from so far from helping Kyrie emerge, I had to make many choices, and I still do, to not respond in my default anger. My default is to be impatient, to yank, to rush, to say it again louder, to presume incompetence. And you realize here, I'm not just talking about a dog, right? This is just so applicable to how we treat other people who are not responding in the way we expected, or at the pace we expected, or maybe even giving us the answers we wanted. And I am very quick to put a moral, judgmental, derogatory spin on that and say, you're lazy, you're stupid, you're defiant, you're obstructive, you are just trying to ruin my day. And that, I realize, comes exactly from how I think of my own feelings and how I have framed my own inability to process quickly in certain situations, which are inevitably emotional situations. So I'm just going to turn to the other side because you can see my horses grazing happily. And so this is again why animals are such great companions for us. They don't have the words, they don't have the lies, they don't have the big long backstories that we build as humans and kind of cloud the issues. They instead are just showing up every day as they are, and it is my job to deal with what they're able to give. And the amount of times that I lose my temper or consider losing my temper, I'm getting better, but lose my temper internally and want to blame them for how this interaction is not going the way I want it to go. That is really what I'm talking about in a lot of my Substack is this issue of me thinking that I have the right to control another being. And of course I can illustrate it with animals, but it is the same with people. It is the absolute same. Come on, Kyrie. And come on, girl. And that's her beautiful response. Good girl. Good girl. But really slow. Good girl. Let's see. I can find you just bonked her in the nose with a little with my clicker. Oh my goodness. Poor girl. Anyway. Yeah, so people, animals, and ourselves, it's all the same. How we lead anyone is how we lead everyone. And it is my belief now that how I treat myself, and it helps me to separate myself into distinct selves with different agendas and different points of view and different metrics for success in any activity. And absolutely, my brain is a quick processor. My heart is very slow, exceptionally deliberate. And that's not the same as stupid. Slow processing is not dumb. Slow processing is slow, but it has the advantage of being very observant. And so if you know any slow processors, they're the ones that pick things up that the fast processors are just flying right by. And so a slow processor in a team is a wonderful gift and should be protected almost above all. So I really want to start valuing my heart's pace, and I'm personifying the heck out of her. I want to value the pace that each of my animals brings to an interaction and actually watch for it. And I'm really trying to do this with Tundra, who is a medium processor. She's not slow, she's not fast, but she does enjoy a good little break, which I'm hearing all horses do. And you know what? So do I. Like, even my quick mind, I think, does better with frequent pauses to just settle, because otherwise she starts to escalate. And once she's escalated, we're in the land of those emotions that are up high. So excitement, exhilaration, anticipation, hope, possibility, and that goes very quick into nervousness and anxiety and a tight grip on the situation. And I find this all the time when I'm riding a horse, is I'm very excited, and it's really, not a pleasant experience for the horse. And so I need to enjoy the chance to, take a break with the horse, let them just soak, let them breathe, let them process. And that is really, really big about my nervous system too, because then I have a chance to come back to a baseline. The ball floating on the water, if you read that post, and just in an equilibrium. Here we are, which, here we are. She's just such a beautiful animal, and so good for me. Not at all the type of dog that I've ever had before. I've always had German Shepherds and Rottweilers and Mastiff Crosses and, the big guardian breeds. I like them. But a golden retriever who just likes to lick my face. Actually, she likes to lick my toes. That's what she gives. That's her gift. Whenever possible, she licks my legs or my toes, and it's kind of weird. But she does it with a great deal of, fervor and love. So anyway, that's my walk and talk for today. Didn't want to pull the horses out because the smoke is so bad, and also I can't leave the house for very long. But I just want to leave you with the disorganized rambling of my walk and talks, which really is about considering honoring what a team or what your inner team members are bringing thoughtfully, and as if it is meant well, and really paying attention to the pace. Because I think if we change our pace to match the person we're interacting with, we learn a lot, and many things sort themselves out without any need to even bring them up. Just changing the pace of speaking, of information transfer, of a learning process, of an activity, of a plan, of forward motion, just changing it and really being considerate about including the ones who are processing at a different rate. I think in my experience, that is the number one contributor to healthy interactions and reducing violence in many forms. So that's where I'll leave you today, and hopefully the smoke dissipates, but I'm always thoughtful on days like this that I'm just getting the smoke, not the fire, and so lots of people are still getting those fires, and it is what it is. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'm going to see if I can find my little clicker thing that I knocked. Yeah, there it is. Knocked Kyrie in the head with when I was trying to treat her, and fortunately, she is very forgiving. But that's a lot to do with me trying to be very forgiving of her as well. Like just inserting a lot of slow pauses and grace into the relationship has been helpful. And yes, she's neurotic, and aren't we all a little bit at times in certain situations? And anyway, play with pacing and let me know how that works for you. Happy Wednesday.